Hello, sweet souls. This is Dani Palacio, and I'm your host for Waking Moment podcast. This is episode 33 of season 2. And when I realized that, I was like, oh, that's the topic. Master number 33. In season 1, I did an episode on all the master numbers and talked more about that and gave some great information. And so I will link that episode in the summary notes and also probably put it on the screen so that you can click to it because it too has lots of good information. But today we are going to dive into master number 33 because one, what is a master number? Master numbers are 11, 22, and 33. And some people believe 44, 55, 66, and so forth. But these three are connected to the divine. And so when you have an 11 or a 22 or a 33, you do not add them up. They stay double numbers. In numerology, it's always said to add up 2 3-digit numbers to a single digit. So you keep adding it until it gets to like a 1 to 9. 33, if you were to add it, would have been a 6, which has its own meaning. But 33 is unique because it is the accumulation of 11 and 22. So it has all the energy of 11 and all the energy of 22. It's kind of like when you buy packages of something, basic, mid, advanced, cream. Each package includes all the previous package included. 33 is, well, it's a big one. So if you've never heard of numerology or looking at numbers, totally 100% okay. But I bet at some point in your life, you've had the experience of seeing a number over and over again in your life. It could have been a 7, could have been 33, could have been, I see a lot of time, like when I look at the time on a digital clock. I love numbers that are in sequence. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I also love the 3-digit numbers of like 333, 555. You can't get 666 because our time doesn't work that way. And so sometimes it's just a number. I'm born on the 5th. And so when I see a 5, I'm like, oh, yay, because I was born on the 5th. I don't know what number you were born on, what date you were born on, but do you have a tender heart towards that number? Like somehow it reminds you of yourself or a little hello from the universe. And again, if you don't have any of that in your life, totally 100% okay. I want you to try and invite it in because it's a really fun way to live life. When you see numbers and they are repetitive in your life, I highly recommend going out to the internet and searching that number. Now, there's a couple different ways that you can search for that number. Numerology is, you could say, what is the numerology meaning of the number? There's another way to look at it, which is through the angels. And I've given you a resource in the summary notes. I've used this particular website from this woman, I don't know, for years. I feel like at least 15. I want to say even maybe longer. Anyway, I've always trusted her information, and her site technically hasn't changed. A lot of people stole a lot of that information, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about numerology and angel numbers. And so what's the difference? Not a whole lot, to be honest, but I love the idea of the angels speaking to me. There's something really good about that. And so I would love for you to learn a little bit about what an angel number message is in comparison to a numerology message. So angel number 33 is a message from your angels that any positive change or projects that you're considering right now will be well worth your while. And you will be assisted in that undertaking, meaning that the angels will come and support you in reaching that goal, finishing that project, manifesting it basically. So angel number 33, because the angels are so with you to help you finish this project and achieve the goal, gives you the courage to really live your life with enthusiasm and optimism. And everybody needs that right now. Everybody. Our world, our 3D Earth world is very heavy. It's dense. And the feeling of burdensome is with a lot of people. And so getting that extra enthusiasm and optimism from the angels, I believe, would really help. And I actively invite them in every day. It's also, when you see a 33, know that you're being blessed, that you're loved and supported. Numbers can be signs from the universe nudging you to remember what the true essence of that number is, and that the one that created you, whoever you believe that to be, however you believe you came into this human body existence, is a gentle reminder of that message, of that number. So again, I've linked both these websites for angel numbers and numerology. Now, numerology is not as angelic oriented. Some would say numerology is less woo-woo and more structured because it's numbers. And a number is a number, and each one has a meaning. And so when they're repeated 3 and 3, it also has a higher meaning in numerology. So in numerology, it says its heart is made of nothing but bright, warm light, and the universe has trusted it to shine this light on humanity. It represents pure love. Similar to the support the angels are going to give you, numerology says when you have 33 or see a 33, it's pure love. And we are created from pure love, pure unconditional love. So it's almost like the universe giving you a hug. And I love that thought. It makes me giddy. I just, giggled because it's so warm and it is so inviting. And it reminds me when I'm having a challenging moment, if I see a 33, that I'm not alone. And I think that's a really lovely thing to feel. You might have a different interpretation of 33. And I always say, trust your truth, trust what is good or right, or, well, those words, I don't usually like to use. So what is offering you what you most need is another way to say that. And my life path in numerology is a 33. That's calculated from your birth date, and I'm not going to teach you that today. It's not the focus of this particular podcast, but figuring out your life path, some people say there's only one way to do it, and other people that I have met have taught me to do it slightly differently than what like numerology.com might teach you. Go with whatever feels in alignment with you and matches your vibration. So when I realized my birth date added to a 33, I asked myself, what does that mean? Because 33 is very powerful. It includes all the intuitive from 11. It includes all of the connection and relationship of 22. And it adds in the divine service, that pure love essence. And that was meaningful for me. My life, when I talk about who I am and what I do, a majority of it comes from my belief in and my faith in a divine plan, that my ancestors and the angels and the creator all came together to work out mission, a life purpose, a life meaning for me. And I said yes to it, because if I had said no to it, I would not have incarnated, that my soul would not have incarnated. Another soul would have taken my place and maybe still have been called Dani Palacio, but it would have been a different soul. But I believe that the same mission or agreement would have probably been given. And so, and we can have a whole nother conversation about that, because it can get tricky, right? Anyway, it can get tricky because my ancestors negotiated upon me to be here. And so if another soul came in, would it be their ancestors, and would they agree? I also have a fun way of thinking about it. So imagine that heaven, the golden gates and all of that, and God comes and he says, okay, we have a couple that is going to have a baby, is going to conceive tonight. We need a soul to fill that space. And the call goes out to the ethers, to the everything. And some souls say, hey, pick me, pick me, pick me. And so they get souls all lined up and they ask them the one question: are you willing to live a life, have an experience of fill in the blank, and are you willing to be that, do that, have that, experience that? And I would say most souls, this is my cartoony version in my head, you guys. So the soul hears that and says, "Oh, of course, yes, yes, I want that. I'll do that." And then God says, "But what if you have to learn that? What if you have to experience that through horrific pain, through atrocities that you couldn't even fathom, but to be able to learn and embody this lesson, this purpose, you have to do it this way. Are you still willing to go?" And let's say some souls say, "Oh gosh, no, I'm not ready for that. Like, I'll just stay energy, no worries." And others that are brave and that are willing say, "I'll do it. I'll do it because it's necessary. It's necessary for humanity. It's necessary for the evolution of the planet. It's necessary for the evolution of my soul. And I say yes to that." And that's the end of my little cartoon in my head. I used to play that scenario over and over about, what am I being asked to be? And obviously I said yes to this experience. So when I've had challenging moments, traumas, now as an adult, I've asked that question, like, oh, is that how I'm supposed to learn this? And I feel like I have, and I'll sit with that, right? It pulls me into activities and to processes and to ways, methodologies of learning and healing and connecting. And so, a little side note, but there's a bunch of different ways to figure out your joy, your purpose, your path. Master number 33 is a number I encourage you to invite into your life. You can see it in 333. There's a 33, 1133, and every hour of the clock has a 33 in it. 33 minutes past the hour of whatever hour. You can see it on, you can see it on lottery tickets. You can see it on gas prices, on grocery bills, the total. If there's a 33 there, what's that about? Ask it, get curious, have fun, make it a game. If nothing else, make it a game. And if you are on the path of energy, spirituality, trusting, having faith in a divine energy, then see it as so and expand what you think a number could be. And I always say, first check into with your own heart. When you see a number, what does it make you feel? Just that simple question, what does it make you feel? And listen to yourself, because so many times when I'm working with someone in a session, on a call, or in person, people always ask me, like, well, how do you hear things? How do you know things? How do you check in on that? And there's a real scientific way to do it called kinesiology, to muscle test, trusting that your muscles never lie to you, your body never lies to you. So you can use your body and other people's bodies to ask questions and get yes, no answers. But the deeper faith, the deeper answer to that is learning to listen to nudges, learning to listen beyond the, if I hear something, I'm crazy, listening to how the body is reacting. Did something in your body cause you pain just now? Do you have like a gut ache? Is there an ache in your toe? Trusting what the body and the energy, the spirit of you, your soul, is trying to communicate to you. It's a journey and a practice of listening. And I'm not saying you have to clear your mind or get super quiet. I know a lot of meditative kind of thoughts are that, no thought is the thing, to clear the mind and have no thought. I am not one of those humans. It's too much work, but I will take the time to breathe and to sit with the question and then listen for an answer. And I'm grateful that my practice and my journey, those answers come really quickly. And sometimes they don't. And that is my challenge, is when they don't come quickly, I have to sit, and I might have to sit multiple times to listen. And maybe I have to clear a limiting belief, or I have to let go of some fear of being something I don't want to be, or be seen as. There is a natural energy in the human body and the brain that is about survival. So stay in your comfort zone. Don't get out of your comfort zone. You want to survive. So you don't want to know the answer to that question, because it will probably require some change. So I've gone on long enough. This is just a quick podcast on the number 33. I wish you so much fun exploring numbers, looking up numbers. With our internet today, you can get some really good information really quickly within seconds. And we live and breathe on our devices. And so it really won't be that hard for you to ask the question about a number and look it up. But always remember, like I just talked about, when you see a number, ask how you feel. What does it inspire? What does it conjure up in your imagination when you see that number? Or sometimes a number can invoke an emotion about someone else. Why? What does it mean? Get curious. So I wish you all the best. Have a wonderful rest of your moment, your day, your week. And I look forward to connecting with you on the next episode. Take care.